Hey, welcome to my channel. I'm ELF, and today I'm doing homemade cinnamon rolls. What? From my kitchen to yours. From my kitchen to yours. ain't gonna waste no time. I'm gonna get right into it. Look at here. Look at that. Look at that. Yeah, I like to unravel it. Look at that. You see it. Yeah, I'm in the pecan swirls. That's what I just did today. I just did that. Bomb though. What? Look at that. Bomb. I'm eating. Y'all all right? Salmon rolls. Look at that. Yeah, I did that. Not too sweet. They right. They perfect, actually. I was aiming for them to be a little larger, but it's all good. Strawberries. That cream cheese icing, what? I'll go here. Look at that. Look at the bottom of that. What? All of that goodness. Sugar and cinnamon. And the line is so good. We grew up on these as a kid. My grandma and my mama was making them. It's an easy recipe where you can share with your kids. Y'all can do this as a project together. Cinnamon roll. Yeah, with my recipe, you can probably make a dozen of these. So, if you're having people over during the quarantine, pull them out. So I put the other ones in the freezer so I can just I store them in Ziploc bags, 2x2, so that whenever I feel like I want to have one, I can just pop them in the oven, you know. Yep. We're not only in a pandemic crisis, but we also in a racial crisis, and have been for quite some time. Many have asked, have you ever experienced racism? What's your story? Look at me. I am Black, and ever since I could remember, I have experienced racism. I grew up in Reidsville, North Carolina, where I seen racism very prevalent. As a kid in the 80s, I watched the Ku Klux Klan march the city streets, chanting hate and violence in my hometown. Throughout Rockingham County, I have experienced racism throughout the school system, elementary school, all the way through high school. Every year, I was experiencing racism, unfair treatment. I've experienced that. That's my experience. In 1999, 3 white boys called me the N-word. They were promoting violence. They came at me and I handled them. The police comes, see these 3 white boys laying out in the parking lot of Dragon Garden, and you know what he asked them? Would they like to press charges against me? That's my experience. A few years back, I worked in Eden, North Carolina at the local hospital. I worked there as a director of human resources. While working there, I discovered a lot of injustices, a lot of disparities, a lot of mistreatment to Black people in particular. They were wrongfully firing Black people. I witnessed racism. I had a colleague to raise her voice at me and tell me what I better do. In that conversation, I stated to her, do not speak to me in that tone or tell me what I better do. I thought I had the freedom to tell my colleague how I wish to be spoken to. No, that was not the case. She then went to my immediate boss, who was a white man, and told him that I disrespected her. He came at me ferociously, angry, violently, walking up to me, pointing. Hadn't even heard my side of the story, and you know what he told me? I don't need to hear your side of the story. I've heard what I needed to hear. So they reprimanded me, probation. Now, mind you, this type of infractions happened all the time to Black people. In order to get them out, in order to remove them, he already heard what he needed to hear. Racism. I then went to the president of the hospital, who was a Black female. You know what she did? Took their side. They were important to her. They were important to her win. It didn't matter that they stepped on a Black person. It didn't matter how they mistreated me, because she needed them. She needed them to push her agenda. No, I did not have my due process. Racism. So you know what I did? I let them have their job. Fast forward, I opened a restaurant. Not even 3 months in to me opening my restaurant, white supremacy throws a brick through my window to interrupt my business. As a matter of fact, I've had community members and leaders in the community and other business owners ask me, were they Black? No, don't want it to be white. It's impossible. No, They do it all the time. You know what the officers said to me? They do everybody like that when they first open up a business. Is this an initiation process? That they do everybody like this, you should know who's doing that. But you know what? They let that die. See, people don't think you're smart. They thought they was going to interrupt my business. They did not. We put a board up to that door and continue to fry chicken while we wait on the insurance company to get us another door. That's how that works. But justice was not served. The person was identified. We have pictures. We seen him in the community. We called the police. And you know what the operator said? Is he black? Racism. White supremacy. Bust my window out my space, out my restaurant. And nothing was done about it. We have video from our security system. We identified the person and nothing was done about it. Simply because we set up shop. We're not supposed to be here. You will want black people to offer you grace. You will want black people not to seek revenge. You will want black people not to retaliate. Because let me tell you, that wouldn't be good. I experienced racism in my neighborhood because my neighbor thinks it's okay to ride his golf cart and his friends' golf carts across my lawn. That's not okay. That's audacious. You think that this whole community belongs to you. Take the golf path like everyone else. But we will no longer be silent. So I tell you what. Thank you for the motivation. So yes, racism is prevalent. It has not died. It is alive. If you are a non-black person, a non-brown person, educate yourself. If you got black friends, talk to your black friends. Ask your black friends to keep it real with you about what is really happening. Turn the volume up on your discernment. You see it. You know what's happening. Say something. Do something. Do not sit around and let people continue to hate and mistreat and mishandle black people. Stop it. So yeah, now we may not want to think that racism is just the N-word. No, racism is you people. That statement that you make when you say you people, that's racist. We know what you're talking about when you say you people. Be careful how you treat people and how you mishandle people. So yes, Black Lives Matter. When all of the other lives pull up at the table, we want to be served too. Yeah. Black Lives Matter too. Please like, subscribe, and share. Tell everybody you know. We out here fighting for justice and standing up against racism. Black Lives Matter.